Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at a classic Zentangle tangle, Printemps. Now, Printemps is French for spring, and you will see why we call it that as we do it, or as you could see in the beginning photo. I am going to put down 4 corners and a borderline. This is how we normally would start a tangle. We would then add a string, which basically separates out the sections in here that we would then tangle in. All right. This is a great, it's a great tangle because it definitely multi-purpose. Is a great fill-in and adds some really neat texture. Now, it starts with putting your pen down, essentially kind of creating a dot, right? And then we're going to aura. We're going to aura. It almost sounds like I said we gonna aura, and continue to aura, and continue to aura, until you feel like stopping. Now, I have also seen this where you can close it in on itself. Seems like I've seen step outs where they haven't. I'm going to leave that part up to you. And so what we do in this one is we fill in the space. And when I'm doing this one, I will do various sizes in various areas around whatever, wherever I'm filling in. And if I could just go slower, they would be, see how nice this one was? But you know what? It adds character. So it's one of those, don't worry. And then you can also decide how far apart you want to have the spirals, essentially. Now, I want to share, well, I think maybe I'll save the middle. Well, you know what? Let me do this. There is one technique that you can use. I will share that with this because this is a classic one, and I was thinking, oh, well, everybody knows this one. I don't need to do that one. But you know what? I don't know. I don't necessarily know who you are that's watching. So I want to make sure to share this because it is a classic tangle. Now, one thing that sometimes we can add to this is called the sparkle. And I've shared in some other videos what the sparkle is. But I think this is where I first learned it was in Printemps. So I'm going to do it here. I'm going to go around a couple times, and then I'm going to just skip a space, right, like so. Skip it again. You can make it wider and add a dot if you wish. Up to you. And go as far as you want. But that just, it adds that little sparkle. Xander is one where that one is incorporated in the tangle, and it's like I said, it's like adding... what we would do sometimes outside of that is add like a white jelly roll or white chalk pencil or something, into a section to create that shine after the fact. But this is one way that you could do it while you're tangling. So I love this tangle because you can also, so as I'm doing right now, I'm utilizing the hollow bow technique and taking some underneath other tangles. And this is why I like to spread things out, so that way I kind of get the, I don't know, kind of like a spontaneous look for where these are located, versus what I would normally probably end up doing is I start at one end and go to the other, and then and it just looks contrived. And so I'm always fighting, and it's probably just more in my mind than anything, fighting this concern that I have about having things look contrived. And so that's why I spread things out, especially these kind of, I call them free form, where it's, you put it wherever you want to put it, and that's that. All right. And then, going around the outside, you can go as far as you want. And I just kind of keep the spiral in my mind, so that way it will look continuous, even though I'm essentially just drawing some curved lines you know, as I'm going underneath. Now, one other thing that we want to do with this one is we do want to butt them up. You know, butt them up next to each other, or like this, going underneath to help that. And of course, you can draw some small ones if you want. And I'm going to, maybe I'll go outside the border a little bit. Because the pencil lines are always just a suggestion. They are definitely not the rule. You know what? Let's see, this one, if I was to continue, I could kind of go under 2. So as I'm doing this, what I'm looking for, so see like these little gaps, I'm looking to narrow in those gaps as much as possible. I'm going to have this one just go all the way outside the line like that. And we'll say 2. So you can go outside, like the pencil line is just a suggestion, or like this one, I kept it inside. Sometimes it's kind of fun to do a little bit of both as you're tangling. Like I said, so this is my strategy, is like, okay, where do I have a big gap and how can I fill that in? And that's just the game that I play with myself when I'm doing Printemps, because I want to have it as full as possible. Because the next step that we do is we're going to fill in these little gaps. So sometimes this is a little bit tricky to find them. And then what I do, especially like right here at the string line, is I will just, you know, fill it into the string line, like here. Say in this one, I just went over that string line. I had thought about, well, I could do another one there, but then sometimes it's nice to just have a little, you know, a little section that's a bigger section that's filled in. Now, when I teach my Zentangle Essentials class, this is one of the ones that I use. This tangle, also Crescent Moon, which I have also not done a video on, and Hollabow. And then I usually throw another one in, and sometimes I change that one up. And this one is nice because it teaches, or reinforces, maybe is a better way to say it, the using both the aura technique and the Hollabow technique. Although you don't have to go under if you don't want to, as I did here. All right, now, does it look like it? Nope, I missed some right here. And you see how that's kind of making it pop as I'm filling those in. It's just like all of a sudden it makes it pop. But I did a pretty decent job at not having a lot of space there. Now, shading. One way to do shading, there, of course, there's a myriad of ways, right? So one way I like to do this is taking some graphite and just maybe picking some of these that are on top. And I'm putting some graphite all the way around. And maybe we'll pick this one here. And how about that one? Okay, so just going around the outside of those. And then taking the tortillon and smudging that out. And I don't know if you could see this as I'm doing this. I'm like this. It's like this is whitening as I'm doing it. It's like brightening up. It's the oddest thing. But I know. I mean, it's because we're putting gray around the outside. There's I'm sure some science behind it. But it's just remarkable. And then as I'm doing that, and as these are kind of being raised up to the top, it's also, because I'm putting graphite on top of some of these other ones, it's pushing them underneath. So now it's looking like I have layers. Like it's, 3D, but going into the paper, which is just, so fun. One other thing that I've done, kind of similar to the sparkle, is it's kind of like done a wedge. So I'm just going to do that here and do like a little triangle coming from the center and out to the edge. and then just, smudging it out a bit. And that can kind of, heck, we could probably, let's just see what I have left on the tortillon. Do it on the opposite side. So it just gives it a little bit different effect. It also gives some extra depth, but that's something that you can play with as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's just it's a fantastic tangle that so much can be done with it. So with that, if you enjoyed, would love to have a thumbs up. And also, in the description section, I will put my step outs for this, and anything else that I find that I think you might find interesting. I will put that on there as well. There are ways to connect with me if you so wish. Just so you know, I have free classes I'm doing every Thursday, and I'm in Eastern Daylight Time, so I do them at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. So check my website. I usually keep current codes there. That you can also follow me on Eventbrite and on Facebook. Also have just launched a kind of a membership program, because I also have some classes that I'm offering for free. Besides the ones I'm offering for free, I do have some paid classes, and I have a membership club, the Tangle Addicts Club, that right now because I'm still kind of in the launch phase. I'm launching it, so for founding members, it's $15 a month at the time of this recording, and the paid classes are $25. So you save right there if it's something that you think you're going to want to do. I have them planned for to do one a month, and I have some plans to do even more. But you can check that out on my website, tangleaddicts.com, and then just look for the link for Tangle Addicts Club. So with that, subscribing even to this, subscribing to YouTube is free. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be lovely. But if you do, make sure to hit the notification bell next to it, so that way you can decide how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all. So with that, I wish you happy tangling.